And the audio works. What a day. Yeah. What's up? Hello. Hello. How are you guys? Audio's working. What a life we live in. I did have to like work for like an hour to get my computer fixed, but it is functioning currently. What if the trolls say the 7 deadly sins? The good thing is I've given a list of options, so the 7 deadly sins are not eligible. Determination based on dominance or vibes. Hey, look, this is not a Google Slides type of stream. I'm not going to be giving you guys a presentation. This one's on you. I'll tell you guys my little criteria, and then I'll send the Google form out. We'll run a BrantSteele. It's one of those streams, if that makes sense. But I'll tell you what my criteria would be, and you guys can go from there. Our final 2s and 3s included. Depends on the season. Basically, I chose, in my opinion, the most dominant alliance of every season. With a few exceptions. Big Brother 7, I didn't throw Chilltown in again. Like, I just skipped that one. Not throwing in the Legion of Doom. We will be playing Roblox soon. Not today's stream, but I've been fiending for it a little bit. I think we'll put the idea out there to all the Cory people that we're running it back. I think I'll be commentating. It'll be one of those. It's just been a while. I feel like that basically became our community night where viewership would be bad, but everyone who's locked in is there. We'll do one of those somewhat soon. You ever finish Big D? I think it's impossible, but we are going to have a stream dedicated to just go until we lose. Or till we win, rather. Is there going to be a charity stream before you leave, or did I make that up? America and I want to do a Big Brother 27 charity stream during that first week or right before that first week when the hype is the largest. We haven't figured out the mechanics of it. We're going to be traveling that entire week, so we have to figure it out. But I think if we're really trying to raise money for charity, and I think it would be for the Trevor Project would be my instinct because, of course, Trump shut that shit down because he's the worst. So, giving them as many funds we can so they can do as much good as they can before, obviously, they're forced to shut down. But if we're raising money, it makes sense to do it when most people are going to be watching and viewership's going to be best, which means donations will be best and everything. I think you guys get it. Thank you, Haley. The writer's room is not an option, Jacob. Thank you for bringing it up. I think a lot of people would consider it among the best Big Brother alliances, but it's just too much competition in Big Brother 25. I mean, we got the Chillers. We have the Nash Villains. It's just like, it's hard to find space for the writer's room. Cooper Flag's odds to be number 1 tonight. Yeah, there's never been a less controversial number 1 pick. He's so fucking boring too. It's kind of funny. Let me yap for 5 seconds about not fun stuff before we get to the goofy, quirky Big Brother of it all. It's a time to address the allegations. Love Island's ass this season. I don't even know if I like the show. Trash. It's trash. Like, here's the thing. I was going to say the problem is they're spending way too much time on the challenges. Which, like, I don't even know if that's the problem, because is there anything to show outside of the challenges? I don't think there is. Like, the show's format makes no sense when everyone just wants to be an influencer, which it's like, obviously they're not looking for love. They're fucking 23, 24, most of these people. So, like, even with The Bachelor, you could almost trick yourself into thinking they actually want love. On Love Island, it's like, it's all fake. It's approaching Love is Blind territory to me. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, Love is Blind is not a real show. Most people go in there with a boyfriend or a girlfriend and just are there to try to get followers. Which, again, like, I'm not naive. That's why people go on Big Brother and not really Survivor, but yeah, a lot of these shows. It's just like, you gotta maintain the illusion a bit more for me. You know what I mean? Also, I think Love Island needs to lean more into the audience voting. I like the combination of, like, the audience voting and then the Islanders voting people out. But, like, the whole point is we can oust who we want to oust. And the twist last night, I'll spoil it if you guys want to leave for a second. Do you guys have any faith that twist was designed beforehand, or do you think after they saw who was eliminated, they were like, we gotta fix this? Austin being there's a crime. Austin might be the most entertaining person on the show, at least top like 2 or 3. Not a fan of his politics for sure, but let's separate the art from the artist, you know? Had to be after. It definitely feels like an after, right? Which I'm happy with. Like, that would have been a disaster. Definitely a last minute save. That's how it feels to me, Timmy. His humor doesn't save him for me. Oh, come on. Some jokes don't fix like super damaging political views. You just seem like a stickler. It's definitely more sinister than politics. I agree. I hope you can sense the tone that I'm having, but I think his confessionals have been like a highlight on the show. Amaya's the best. Amaya's pretty funny. She's like the girl version of Austin, but less problematic, of course. But if it was TJ, they would have just let them go. And here's the thing. Can we be real? Olandria made her bed. Let's be honest. I'm glad she's staying. She's one of the more entertaining people there. She's a great confessionalist. Great casting, I think, for reality TV, just not necessarily Love Island. Like, she did her job. Or she did the opposite of her job. She just, she made her bed. She's the reason she got booted. Nick, on the other hand, kind of surprised me how that played out. Because it feels like he is willing to play the game, and he's always picked first, but I don't know. It just didn't work out this time. BB25 gets more hate than it deserves. I'm glad someone's finally saying it. Let's pivot this conversation. You're exactly right. You make a good point. Let's talk about it. Let's dive into this subject. The other thing I want to say, and I'll be kind of vague, but not super vague, because you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Everything that I post on the Patreon, that me and America post on the Patreon, that she posts on the Patreon, the assumption is that it's public in some capacity. I'm never going to say something on there that I do not feel comfortable having other people know. Because like a paywall with 550 people, let's be honest. Like it would be naive to be like, that's going to stay within, right? Like, we're not stupid. If you're sharing it on, obviously like Twitter or whatever social media platform that's not paid, that sucks. That's lame. You're a loser. It's kind of it. As for the actual subject of the stuff that's being posted, being an online presence and spoiling a show does not mean you've contributed to the show's growth and success. I would argue you probably made the entire experience and community much worse. And just generally speaking, being a mean, miserable, pathetic person who makes the world a worse place is like a bad course of action for your life. But this is just a general statement detected this is to you guys in chat mostly, not geared towards anyone in specific. I would just implore Kayla specifically, make better life choices. Because let's think about this a couple ways. First of all, if heaven is real, you kind of want to position yourself for that. I don't really believe in heaven or hell, but my thought is always like, let's just be a good person in case it exists. You know what I mean? You know what you did, Kayla. Let's be a good person just in case, right? That's one piece of it. The other piece is like the normal human decency and morality stuff, which I find a bit more compelling in terms of just like make choices that other people would look at and say, they seem like an okay person, instead of making choices that people will look at and say, that person's a bad person and makes the world a worse place. Does that make sense? Yeah. Last thing, you don't derive value from being attached to a show that's probably going to get canceled, which is a shame. I like the show a lot. I've liked the show for years. My mom loves the show. But being loosely affiliated with the show because you provide tea is like not the flex you think it is. And people are clamoring for you and your words and your information because they want what you know, not who you are. In fact, who you are almost invalidates what you know. So. Crash out more. I don't see it. I'm not on social media. I don't see Twitter. Like, genuinely, I won't see it. The only thing I'll see is people submitting cameos to hate, and I just take their money at this point because what else am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? And I will say, like, as lame as you are, the people who are, like, fawning over you are much lamer. So there is a hierarchy, and you're above them. So, congrats to you, to those people. Damn, you don't even have Twitter clout. Imagine all those mean things I said before and no Twitter clout. Like, that's disastrous. So, one of you is probably in chat. One of you is probably the person who leaked stuff from the Patreon. Like, shout outs. Anyways, y'all want to talk about Big Brother? Because I can't express. This doesn't affect me. I'm hanging out. I don't see social media anymore. It was the best decision I ever made. I'm kind of annoyed that I had to make that decision because, like, I'm one of those people who had to get off social media now. But it has been better. So, you know, what are you going to do? All right. Big Brother time. Let's look at the Reddit first. A quick little Reddit recap before we dive into the Alliance talk, okay? Let's do it. Baby, na, 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 na. America is good, yeah. It's annoying, but, you know. we got a lot of stuff going on. Do you have Truth Social? I should, if I don't already. Am I leaking anything? I don't think I am. Jerry, thank you for the 5 gifted. I should crash out more often. I slandered you last week. I don't know what that means. Please don't do it again. I do miss your thoughts on Twitter. I'll be tweeting during Big Brother for sure. I won't be responding or reading comments, but if I have a thought, I'll tweet it for sure. Please not Truth Social. I was thinking Parler, but whichever one's got more traction these days. You know, there was no hate in Meverse. I swear to God, I would have gotten hate on PictoChat. But thank you so much, Jerry, for the 5 gifted. I appreciate it. You're very kind. Come to Blue Sky? Nah. I think, like, putting aside all the hate and the abuse and the mean stuff, it's kind of just a time waster, which is, like, by itself is kind of nice to not have that anymore, you know? But I appreciate it again, Jerry. You're very kind. All right, say something nice about BB22. I could say a lot of things nice about BB22. I fucking liked the season. There was a lot of ickiness, that middle period with Davon, Bailey, Tyler, Christmas. That was gross and weird to watch, and the Ian stuff was gross. Like, there's always gross stuff with every season. It's a bad season, but I enjoyed it. I was kind of locked in. I thought it was fun having all these people interacting with each other. I think it's a massive amount of revisionist history saying this cast was bad. I think this was a pretty excellent cast they put together. I would have signed up for this in a fucking heartbeat before BB All-Stars 2 when they announced it was going to be an All-Star season. It definitely didn't work out at all, but I think they killed this casting. I mean, David Alexander is a weird one, but, like, let's be honest. They didn't exactly have many other black men to choose from. And David, I thought, was a fun presence on the season. He was one of those people after BB21, people talked about, like, he got super screwed and had a lot of potential. Like, I was fine with David being picked. And especially because of how non-diverse this cast is, I thought it was a fine choice. Danny, Davon, obviously no-brainers. Cody was a no-brainer. Christmas was a total miss. Bailey was a little weird, but speculative. I'm down with it. Enzo, Ian, Janelle, Kaser, all great picks in the moment. Keisha, great pick. Kevin, great pick. Tyler, Nicole, the other Nicole member. I thought they did a great job casting. A great job. I'd love more All-Star seasons. I think they should be about once every 8 seasons. I think that feels right to me, but nothing crazy. I still don't think they work really for Big Brother, but the excitement is just too, you know, the hype preseason almost justifies however bad the season's going to end up being. Okay. What else we got? Players who want to comp by default. I generally think this is a bullshit idea. People don't like it because I usually use it to defend Jared, but, like, when a comp is designed, like, if you get it wrong, you're out, and the other person doesn't press a button and wins, they won. Like, I guess it's by default, but, you know, what difference does that make? That's how the comp works. If you hung onto the wall and other people fell off, that's winning by default too, just because you hung on a little longer, you know? Did Suri and Felicia not realize that by evicting you, Jag would just run the table? Like, wasn't it bad for their games to evict you as you were the only person left who had won a comp at that point who was not, I don't think it mattered. I think it was a fine choice to evict me over America. I think the only reason would be if you literally thought I was marginally better at comps than America, but then you'd have the problem of having to deal with me, right? You got to evict me after that. Like, let's say I win and get rid of Matt and Jag. I'm more of a problem than America. I'm more of a jury threat than America. So I think it's, if me and America's comp ability is like marginally different and my jury ability is way, far surpasses hers, I think it's a reasonable choice. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate it. BB probably won't be around by 2030, though. Absolutely not. It will be around. I don't think Big Brother has any sign of slowing down. It's cheap to produce. They make a shitload of episodes. They keep expanding it every season. I would bet a lot of money it's here by 2030. What happened between 24 and 25 comps? I know they hired a different person at some point. I think BB25 comps were super inequitable, but I do think it's a little bit overstated, just a tiny bit, because like all the equitable comps, Bowie Jane won. You know what I mean? Like we caught it. They were inequitable, and the equitable ones we got unlucky. On 26, there was a similar level of comp dominance by Chelsea and MJ, and those comps were more fair. Like, it's always going to happen to a certain extent. It was just kind of frustrating on our season because of basically Suri and Felicia. Like, they had no shot of some of these comps, which was just lame. So like, I think the BB25 stuff looks worse than it actually was comp design-wise, but there was a ton of problems, obviously. How was Will viewed prior to BB7 and 14? I'm sure he was the GOAT before BB14, probably, right? I think it's just weird because, like, we live in the present, but in the past, people perceived everything so differently. Where it's like Evil Dick was like a Pantheon player back in the day. You know what I mean? It was like Dr. Will, Dan, Evil Dick, and Janelle or some shit. It's only recently that more people are kind of thinking about the nerdy ways of ranking players. Felicia did make it to a tiebreaker on that one quiz comp. Mazel tov. Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's better to make it to tiebreaker than not. 27 predictions. We've talked about this extensively. We're going to have the AI arena, a lot of Tucker clones, maybe an Angela clone, and hopefully it comes off as authentic and fun. You were marginally better than America as you had won one HOH. Yeah, but if I'm more than marginally better in some other departments that they have to worry about, I think it still makes sense to target me. Honest thoughts about the Minutemen stable. I don't know what stable means. Just a very uninteresting duo. Mostly because Matt and Jag certainly like had his trouble being entertaining and confessional and stuff, but Matt is just so dry. I think it's hard to rally behind them as a duo. Like, they didn't even bro down very well. You know what I mean? If they were like both, if like Jag was more of a doofus and they were just like the two stooges, it could have been fun. But like they were just kind of boring, I think was the biggest problem. I think this is returning player seasons don't do better numbers wise, ratings wise, and they're more expensive, I think is basically the gist of it. And it doesn't really work for Big Brother, but I don't think they care that much about that. Do you think we get another mentor season? Not. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised they haven't done another coaches season just because of how successful the last coaches season is. I'm glad they haven't because the coaches twist is terrible. But, like, I would think they, like, after BB16, even though we all hated it, they loved 16, so they brought it back with Battle of the Block. I'm surprised they didn't just do another coaches season because it's one of the top 4 best seasons, 3 best seasons. Food comps should not come back. How is Ian's game on feeds? Not very good, but still a very rootable character. Sheree and Felicia were bitter jurors. I don't think Felicia was bitter at all. I think Felicia voted for who she thought the better player was. I think Sheree voted for who she liked more, which again is fine. No problem with that. Ashlea and America's Choice. I can't believe I met Ashlea. So weird. America's Veto is always going to be Quinn. Say something nice about BB21. Really fluid strategy. All right. That'll do it for that. Let me show you guys the form. The Google form we got. So let's talk about the philosophy I'm using when ranking alliances. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a Google form. The form's got one alliance from basically every season of the mainline, Big Brother, US. And what I want you to choose is who you think are the best alliances in Big Brother history. Now, what do I mean by best? I think dominance is a pretty key piece of it. How much influence did they have over the game? How much did the game revolve around what this alliance was doing? Of course, some alliances are more real than others. A good example would be the Hitmen are much more of a real alliance than the Quack Pack. The Quack Pack kind of became a real alliance over time. Kind of, just because Ian was winning a lot of comps. So, it's not necessarily how tight-knit was the alliance itself, just how successful do you think the alliance was, and how much influence did they have over the game? If that makes sense. I developed a list. I want you guys to tell me what you think of the people I selected, if there's any glaring omissions in your mind. But I think I did an okay job. Here's how it's going to work. I want you guys to all pick 8 or so alliances. You could pick however many you want. You could just pick one. It doesn't really make a difference. If you want to vote for every single one and have your vote be nullified, that's fine too. I'm going to limit the amount of people who get into the BrantSteele to 4. Got it? So if the cookout gets voted in, we're going to then decide who in the cookout represents the cookout the most. Because I don't want to have, the Renegades versus the cookout, and the cookout just dominates. You know what I mean? That would be a little bit against the exercise of what we're trying to do. Okay. Any questions before we dive in? I don't think so. Let's look at it. Let me zoom for you guys. All right. So, Season 2. This is Season 2 and 7 at Chilltown, obviously. Secret Alliance is a no-brainer. June and Allison, I was thinking of choosing the Dream Team with, Jack and Erica and Nathan, but this is the Season 4 Alliance that represents the season, June and Allison. The Four Horsemen, again, not a very successful alliance. They do have a winner and runner-up, but, this was the alliance of the season, even if it falls apart. The Friendship is a no-brainer. Dick and Danielle. I don't know what else I would call them. Forgetting Chilltown members Shannon, Justin, Frank, and Bridget. And Chicken George. And Janelle and Erica, right? There's Team Christ. Absolute classic. Hopefully they're able to get in. I've got high hopes for them. The Renegades, obviously. I put Jeff and Jordan. I was willing to put, Russell and Natalie as, that post coup d'etat squad. But I don't. If they don't have a name, it's BB11. I don't think that would be considered a dominant alliance. The Brigade, of course, Quack Pack, again, kind of a fake alliance, but it became real. Exterminators, the Hitmen, Sixth Sense. I'll be honest, I had to look this one up. I didn't know what to do for BB17 because you could put Vanessa, Johnny Mac, and Steve. You could put the Oz twins, maybe. Sharon wasn't a part of that, was she? Kayla, you cannot ask me questions about Big Brother 9. I'm sorry. They're not going to get voted in. Don't worry. It's okay. I had to look this up, but this is the Sixth Sense. The Executives, I forgot about this alliance, which is funny because it's literally just the final 6. So is this as successful as the cookout? No. But you guys know what I mean. There's some people here. Level 6, of course, the 6 Shooters, I think, is probably the best 21 alliance. The Committee, a fake alliance that became real, the Cookout, the Leftovers, the Mafia, and then I just put this fucking group. Wasn't putting Friend Z, I'll tell you that much. Freaks and Geeks, the Austins, Vanessa and Steve. Yeah, that would work. It's just kind of all the endgame players, BB17 was kind of just very fluid with Vanessa, so it's kind of hard to be super definitive about which alliance dominated the season. The Spy Girls did not quite make the cut, unfortunately. Maybe next list. So this is the list. I'm going to publish it and then share it with you guys. Thank you, Night Cheese, for gifting Octopussy. Appreciate that. Let me share the link. And that is going to be posted. Crossroads, RIP. I think Crossroads would be a stretch to include, unfortunately. So I think what we're going to do for this cast is choose all the ones that have clearly got enough votes and then try to round this out. I'm expecting this simulation to be like 24 people is kind of my prediction. I don't think it's going to be, we're not going to go to 30. It seems like a lot. And we'll kind of zoom through the BrantSteele so we can make it to Love Island in an hour. Anonymous. We're up at 300 subs again. What did I do to deserve this? Please tell me it was going through the Big Brother Reddit, not my rant. There's no Love Island tonight? No! I'm actually pretty happy about that. I'm not. The show is just kind of bad. I think last season was lightning in a bottle. I know Love Island UK is a lot better. Here's what I need. Here's what Love Island needs. I'm sorry. I need less gender solidarity. The women need to hate each other more and the men need to hate each other more. Thank you, Ace, for bringing that bitterness to the show. It's much needed. Thank you, Anonymous, again, for the 5 subs. I appreciate it. We're almost at 300. 260 of them are Anonymous gifted subs, but I appreciate it. Besides the Mafia, is your favorite BB25 alliance? Probably the Crossroads. I thought it was the most unique, but it really wasn't because the 3 of them were a family. And then there was just me. But I think in most seasons, that'd be kind of a cool alliance. How do you feel about this season of Love Island being like Big Brother? It's not at all, but like the problem is like it would be fun if that was happening, but it's just Ace doing that. Everyone else is like pretending like they're in love. Why don't you like the season? No one likes each other. There's no connections and therefore no real drama, interpersonal drama amongst these people. Like Hudda and Jeremiah was the only source of drama because Hudda genuinely loved Jeremiah. So when Jeremiah would do like the littlest thing, she would genuinely be annoyed. Nothing's genuine because no one cares about each other anymore. Even like Nick, who's one of my favorites, he doesn't care about Sierra. Sierra likes Nick a lot, but not to the extent that she'd be that upset if something happened. Mike deleted the permitted term, fuck feminism. That's hilarious. Good for you, Mike, beating the allegations. Is Songbirds and Snakes book club happening this Sunday or the Sunday after? I'm not sure I'll be able to read it in time. I think we're probably not going to do it. I just think there hasn't been enough forewarning. So I think we're going to hold off for now. We'll make up actual Patreon post because I know the communication's been kind of inconsistent. All right, we're at 88 responses. That's pretty good. Over half the chat. Did you ever at any point have any real loyalty to me, Cole? Thank God we have you in the chat, Jacob. Yes, I had a lot of loyalty towards me, Cole. That was never warranted or reciprocated. Where's my Sunrise and the Reaping audition? Who should I play? I'd be cool with a Nick and Sierra win. I think they're the most likable relationship. I think Ace and Shelly just seem so fake. Like, I don't think they actually like each other. It feels like I think the only thing that annoys me about Ace, and like I don't mind hypocrisy on reality TV, like that's the point. But like him saying that everyone else has to go out and explore and try new connections or whatever when he has done absolutely nothing the entire time and been with Shelly the whole time. It's just like it's obviously hypocritical. I don't know why other people aren't calling it out. Like I wish I was Jeremiah so I could respond to Ace. You know, it's very frustrating watching someone who clearly like imagine watching the Humiliverse fight, but no one calls out that Jared was lying about things. And you know they're lying, and it's just so frustrating. You're like, oh, I want to say it. Very Plutarch coded. You could play Wyatt. I probably would be Wyatt, which is kind of sad. Nah, it wasn't an accomplishment, Jacob. It was like a traumatic moment because she called me out leaving the house. I was very sad about evicting Mimi. Evicting Mimi and Izzy were the 2 times I was genuinely, like, felt really bad. With Mimi, I had no reason to feel bad. With Izzy, I guess I didn't really have a reason to feel bad, but like it's human emotions. Like I like Dizzy a lot, so. No way, Mensa. I have no information one way or the other, but they don't give features back. That's not how this works. They just slowly take things away. Your fit during her eviction was great, at least. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't think so, Angie. Ned's here. Uh-oh. All right. We have 142 responses. Get yours in for the next minute before I call it. Before Nicole called you out, what did Nicole do to make her a threat? She was just more threatening than Felicia, but she also didn't tell anyone her plans ever and got way too close to Blue for no reason. So I think everyone was under the impression that Mimi was specifically targeting them because Mimi never told anyone anything. I couldn't stand Heisem. Bad take. Thank you, Rune Queen. We're at 298. I think we're getting to 300 before the stream ends. What a life. What an absolute life. But I appreciate it, Rune Queen. Way, way, way too kind. I'm going to be closing submissions in about a minute. It's 8:01. At 8:02, I'll be shutting them. But I appreciate it, Rune Queen. So sad to be leaving Nashville. No more Rune Queen sightings in the wild. It's going to be a tragedy. You guys will make it to Boston, right? What's up, Chiara? We've hit the 300 number. Should we scrap the stream idea and just have me talking to Jacob in chat and have people give me subs? I'm okay with that plan too. Cory drink. It's a good idea. The diabolical grape Powerade sip. You've earned this, Chiara. Cheers. This to you. Even though Nicole literally had an alliance with you from the beginning. Yeah, but she didn't. I thought I had one with her, but she could not care less about me. As made evident from all of her words and actions the entire season. Grape. Yeah, in the moment, it was after my 6-hour shopping expedition, or like during it, and I felt like I needed a boost, and I thought grape would be the most like aggressive flavor to like zap me out of it, whatever funk I was in. When did that alliance happen? We didn't have an actual name until the flip, week 6. Okay. I'm closing submissions. It is closed, and I'm looking at the responses. Okay. So I'm going to play some music. You guys are going to yap and chat while I put together the BrantSteele. And we'll go from there. Does that sound good? Any song requests, or rather, give me artist requests. I think that's a better idea. Gatorade over Powerade all day. We were at the Dollar Tree. It was just a big bottle. Could we get a grease packing podcast? I think that'd be less entertaining than you'd think. Can you play Coconuts, Bowie Jane, Princess of Power, Coldplay? We're all over the map, huh? Deltarune soundtrack. Kid Rock, Benson Boone, Haim. Y'all are doing a great job. This is why I never give you guys decision-making responsibilities. We're going to play Hamilton. No. Noah Kahan, the Beastie Boys. I like the Beastie Boys. Let's play Paul Revere. Nah, it's too white. It's too white. Can't do it. Coconut's a banger. No, it's not. Coconut's terrible. Not playing Benson Boone on his birthday. You guys want to hear Benson Boone? Is that what we've landed on? Benson, is that what you guys want? Just play Charlie? So many good options. Let's do it. It is his birthday. You guys did not cook. You guys did not cook. I don't know what the fuck you guys did. What did you guys do? So, I mean, I'll show you guys what the fuck your votes were. The brigade didn't make it. Look, it's your vote, but the brigade didn't make it, and that's obviously a top 2 alliance of all time. But, yeah, I guess we just have to look at what you guys did. No Cody. No, none of Cody's alliances made it. Not close. Chiltown barely made it. Basically, the last group. But I'll show you guys the form. So, Secret Alliance is number 1. Classic. June and Allison number 2. Makes sense. Y'all put 38% on Team Christ. I swear, I could have said anything and you guys would have voted for... Like, if I was like, oh, you guys are not going to vote for the executives, and then everyone would have voted for the executives. So now in our fucking BrantSteele, I put Matt, Ryan, Sheila, and Adam. Good luck. So now someone's going to have to deal with them. I'm going to have to give them stats. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. We got the Quack Pack makes it in just over the brigade. Level 6 makes it. The cookout, the leftovers. I'll show you what the cast looks like. What the fuck is this? So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to do profiles because it's not about individual players. It's about alliances. So with Adam, we're just going to give him his relationships. Okay? That's all we're going to do. I don't know about that, Joseph. Is Adam still in jail? No, I think Adam's got his shit together. I think he's doing pretty well right now. So Adam and Sheila and Ryan and Matt. The fuck am I supposed to do with this? I'm just going to make them all strong bods. Fuck it. I'm not going to pretend to know anything about Big Brother 9. Let's go to the next one. Allison Irwin. I'll do a strong bond. Nothing's unbreakable with Allison. We should know this. I'm not going to go give her other relationships, by the way. I would say she's unbreakable with Tyler at the time of the alliance, of course, and then strong bond with everyone else. Strong bond with Casey and Brett is somewhere. Strong bond. They're not as strong, actually, but, it's fine. April Lewis. Who we got in the friendship? We got Maggie. We got Yvette. And I think I put one more. I don't know why they unordered everything. It's very inconveniencing to me. Oh, where's Cappy? Did we not have Cappy on here? No Cappy. Hey, that's how the cookie crumbles. It was Natalie, not Matt in the alliance. I believe you. I'll change it. Change to Sherrod right the fuck now. All right. Brett Robinson. What does Brett have going on? I guess just his strongish bonds with these people. Casey and Angela. All right. Let's go to Brittany Haynes, who I would say has everyone. Danielle. Where is she? Danielle, here you are. And Ian, okay. I'm so excited for this season. It's going to be a shit show. It's my worst idea I've ever had. All right, Daniel Giesling, what do you got? You got Ian, Danielle, and Brittany, okay. Next up, we got Danielle, who should just have to be Ian. Then we go to Hannah Chada. So the cookout representatives, I just took out Big D and Ozza, no shade. Even though I'm sure that'll be interpreted as shade, but, truly, no shade. Oh, this is for Hannah, so I'm missing one. Kylant. If you change it, will reset the relationships. You're right. It's going to be Ryan, and hopefully he gets booted early. Okay? Deal? Ian Terry. Yeah, we already did all the Quack Pack people, I think. Ian, Brittany, and Danielle. Perfect. Yvette. All right, where's your cookout members, Yvette? cookout. Friendship. 1, 2, and I think that's it. Jason Guy with Danielle Reyes. Joseph Abdin, rather. Taylor and Michael. And I think that's it for the leftovers. Did I put anyone else? I don't think so. June and Allison are tight. I think is the only one that matters. Casey, I think, is good with everyone but Tyler at this point. Kyland needs his X bond. He needs his Tiffany bond. He already has his Hannah. Maggie should be good with the cookout. I keep calling him the cookout, the friendship. They could not be more different from the cookout. Strong. I think that's fine. Matt, everyone's favorite. We're just going to leave him out, I guess, for the time being. Michael Bruner. This is such a mindfuck. It's so hard to find everyone. My vision's getting, like, doubled. It's just her and Joseph, right? Okay, that's already done. Ryan. Where's Ryan's bonds? He has a strong bond with himself. Let's have him extremely hate Matt. Hopefully we can get Matt out early. Sure, you're strong with Adam, and you're strong with Sheila. Sure. Does Legion of Doom get a connection? Nah. Sheila, we already did everyone. Taylor already did everyone. Tiffany needs X. Tyler has everyone. Will has everyone. Xavier. Okay, well, there we go. We've got our bonds. Oh, Jesus. Every BrantSteele low-key feels like a fucking homework assignment. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, this is the fuck-ass cast you guys made. Congratulations. Let's just get this thing started, because it's probably going to take a fucking hour. Any winner pick predictions? I think you got to look at some of the bigger alliances. I think the Cookout is, of course, set up very well, kind of appropriately. They're one of the strongest alliances ever. I think the Quack Pack is set up well. Missing Shane. I'm missing a lot of people, but we have to prioritize. All right, let's do it. All right, so we start off. Here's the Quack Pack. We got Brittany and Ian. All right, this is interesting. This is fascinating. We have the Cookout and Leftovers have joined forces. I think this is the entirety of the Leftovers and the entirety of the Cookout. I think we suddenly have our frontrunners, is this fucking group. Move your camera to top left, sure. But this is pretty fucking powerful. This probably would happen, too. I think there'd be a little bit of tension with some of these people, but... All right, we got the counter alliance, though. We got Level 6 and Team Christ. All right, who do you guys got? The Cookout and the Leftovers or Level 6 and Team Christ? Tyler not beating the BB22 allegations. Tiffany and Hannah are locked in. Wow, X and Tiffany have joined. Is Team Christ going to run this game? Don't do it. And then we got the Leftovers. This is a badass alliance. What the fuck? We got Danielle, Jason, June, Allison, and then the Leftovers. So basically, it looks like the Leftovers and Team Christ are best situated currently, would be how I would say it. But this is a sick alliance. All right, it's Treadmills of Terror. All right, this is a lot of placements. The winner is Sheila. Oh, no. Team Christ is taking it. Oh, no. Oh, boy. All right, who are they going to nominate? Hannah and Yvette. I will say the friendship is not in anything. Friendship's not in anything. If I was all right, you got to kind of target the Cookout, I think. None of this really matters until later. Yvette wins the veto, so we're going to need a replacement nom. Puts up June. There's one person from each big alliance. I think June is probably cooked here. I don't think any of this really matters. I think we're going to zoom through basically to like the final 16. Basically. June, Hannah, June, Hannah. It's a close vote. Let's just go to the end. By a vote of 16-9, Hannah Chada is the first evicted from the Big Brother house. A huge win for our ragtag group of alliances. Tough for the cookout. Cookout got cooked. They still have a lot of people left, you know. I don't want to get too stressed out. This is still the squad. Leftovers in the cookout. The Quack Pack just kind of sticking together, doing their own thing. If this ends up being the end game, Brittany's sitting pretty. Well, there you go. Yeah, it looks like Team Christ is kind of running everything. Team Christ is running things with the leftovers trying to mount a bit of an insurrection. The next HOH. Oh my God. Matt is truly a free agent. He has no relationships. People actively hate him and he pulls in the HOH. So far, Team Christ is 2 for 2. This is your fault. What the fuck is Ryan gonna do? I didn't anticipate him winning HOH. There's 28 people. The fuck is he gonna do? He puts up Jason and Ryan from Team Christ. This is awesome. This is Matt. Sorry. This guy's a menace. House gets choices Adam. Brett wins the veto, uses it on Ryan because level 6 is working with Team Christ, and then Maggie's the replacement. I don't know. I'm low-key rooting for Matt. He's kind of a star. All right. By a vote of 16-8, Maggie is gone. Got it. Okay. So we got one winner gone already. One member of the friendship. One member of the cookout. These bigger alliances getting kind of diced up. Let's see here. Any of these... This is the strongest, is the Quack Pack at 8 strength. This one's got 6, and the rest of them are 5s. It's not terrible. Dr. Will still throwing everything. Chilltown is nowhere to be seen, by the way. All right. The Quack Pack. It's very interesting to see where the Quack Pack goes, because they've got no relationships. It is just them against the world. If I'm them, I think you kind of have to strike at Team Christ, probably. But we'll see. Puts up Matt and Michael. Not a bad idea. Matt, house gets choices Adam again. No way he saves himself, right? Ryan wins, who hates Matt. Doesn't use it. I think this is Matt's... I think we've lost Matt. Allison and Kylan bonding well. I could see this. I could definitely see this. All right, by a vote of 22-1. Ryan. Or sorry, keep it on Ryan. Matt. 22-1. Wow, what a good try though. Who was the one? That's a good question. We gotta check this out. Who stood on the landmine? My guess is it was Adam. It has to be Adam, right? No, it wasn't Adam. Okay. Guys, who did it? I'm gonna find you. Boogie! That makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. All right. Oh boy, Alliance level 7. Not level 6, 7. So this is level 6 minus Casey with the remnants of the friendship and Allison and June. Level 6 is kind of doing well because level 6 is in with Team Christ and they're in with these people. Yeah, but Casey being excluded is hilarious. The winner, Tiffany gets the HOH. Much needed, I think. The cookout was getting in some trouble. Wow. I think this is kind of a fucking genius move. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Put up 2 in the Quack Pack. Fuck it. Crazy noms, though. House guest choice is Danielle. Dan's not going anywhere. He wants a piece of this middle game, piece of this end game. See the replacement nom. Mike Boogie. Wow, Boogie and Brittany on the block together. What a season. All right. By a vote of 14-8, Brittany is evicted from the Big Brother house. Boogie survives. Wow. Chilltown loves surviving the block, even though I don't think Boogie really ever did it. Shout-outs, Brittany. She'll be able to talk about the season on Patreon for the rest of it. X leaves Alliance 3. X said, fuck it, I'm a lone wolf. You gotta love it. Michael takes the HOH. Puts up Boogie and April. Boogie pawn era, perhaps? April wins the veto. Saves herself. And Tyler is the replacement nom. What an inspired choice by Michael. I think Tyler, you'd think, is one of the best positioned players here. I think Boogie's probably just cooked, but getting rid of Tyler would be pretty big. 19-2. I mean, nah, this is Boogie. Boogie's gone. There's no way. Yeah. All right, there goes Boogie. So it's just Will by himself. No alliances in sight. Taylor leaves Alliance 7. Not sure why. Taylor maybe going with X in the Lone Wolf camp. She's still in this one. But that is dicey. The new HOH. Danielle Reyes. Bit of a quiet start to the season. Puts up April and Kyland. Don't hate it. Just two power players or people in power alliances. Joseph wins the veto. Uses it on Kyland because they're in an alliance together. Noted. And Danielle renoms Adam. Okay. Maybe Team Christ takes a hit here. Maybe Team Christ is able to take over a little bit. 16-4. Nah, Team Christ is strong. They got some alliances. There goes April. The friendship is clearly going to be it seems like they're going to be the first alliance fully booted. We already lost April. We lost Maggie. It's just Yvette left. She was nominated before. Of course, Chilltown just has Will. So it's possible. Yeah, this is really the most important alliance. Their alliance strength 7 is crazy. They're important, but they're just smaller. This level 6 minus Casey, June, Allison, Yvette. It's pretty strong. Tiffany HOH puts up Will and Dan. It's her second HOH, first of all. Her nominations are fucking wild. She put up, what was it? Brittany and Dan, and then Dan and Will. It's kind of crazy. Michael wins the veto. Doesn't use it, so it's Dan and Will on the block together. What the fuck? By a vote of 11-8, Dan is evicted. Oh my god. Where's Giesling Traders? He would love to see this. This is going to be in his next Reddit post. Eviction of the century. That is crazy. So the quack pack is down to Danielle and Ian. This is so overwhelming to look at. Oh my god. Danielle Reyes, Tiffany, back-to-back HOHs is wild. Puts up Adam and Tiffany. Look, I think Tiffany's playing a little too hard, a little too fast. June gets the veto. Doesn't use it. All right, you got to snipe Tiffany out of the game here, right? Adam is becoming a bit of a pawn as well. 14-4. Adam is evicted. I can't be the only one who feels it. It feels to me like Tiffany's running the game. Does that feel right? It feels like she's at 2 HOHs. Got rid of Brittany and Dan. Put up Will. Put up Boogie. Someone's going to have to knock her off. Yeah, I mean, what is she in? She's just in this and this, right? So she's got the Cookout, the Leftovers, and Team Christ. The good thing that Tiffany has going for her is Xavier dipped on this alliance, but she's still in this alliance with him. The winner. June beats out level 6 and puts up Ian and Sheila. Damn, I mean, I get targeting Team Christ, but Ian and Danielle are the only members in the Quack Pack. Like, you got to think there's bigger fish. Sheila gets the veto, so we're going to need a replacement nom, and Will is that replacement nom. Yikes. He probably volunteered, but even still. By a vote of 14-3, Ian is evicted. I will say, while Tiffany's running the game pretty clearly, Will is doing his best. He's maneuvering. He's doing his Dr. Will thing. I would not be surprised for an alliance to develop at some point with him in it. X leaves another alliance. The winner. Taylor gets her first HOH. I'm glad Tiffany doesn't have another one. Puts up Will and Jason. Dr. Will is pretty clearly the perennial pawn these days. A little bit rough. Jason gets the veto, uses it, and Danielle is the replacement nom. I think the Quack Pack is going to be the first one booted. I mean, unless Will, fumbles here. By a vote of 11-5, Danielle is evicted and Will survives the block for the third time, and the Quack Pack is no more. Wow. All right. We have made it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're at the final 18. Once we get to the final 16, we'll start evaluating it like a real normal BrantSteele. Yeah, let me just count to be correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18. All right. Oh, Dr. Will is desperate for an HOH. He's never won an HOH in his time in Big Brother, but this would be the time. He gets it. Okay. The fuck is he gonna do? Strike at the power, Will. Yeah, he did it. That's big boy nominations. Puts up Tiffany. Jason wins the veto, saves himself, and Will replaces her with June. Wow. So he's striking at that, like, weird alliance. The June, Allison, June, Allison, Danielle, Jason, Leftovers one. And by a vote of 10-5, Will, I think, misses his target. Tiffany survives. And now Will is probably in a lot of trouble. And that does... I guess Allison's still there, so that Quack Pack is still the only eliminated alliance. Anyone see this as the final 3? I low-key think this is what we're going to get. I think we're going to get Ryan, Sheila, Tiffany. But shout out to Tiffany. She's running the fucking game. Top to bottom. Brett is an HOH, okay. Puts up Jason and Tiffany. He's working with Will. These are Will's exact noms. Random and unforgettable player of all time. Unforgettable is interesting. That might be a you thing. The winner of the veto is Kyland. Does Kyland save Tiffany? Oh, she has a fucking grip on this game. Jesus. Michael is the replacement nom. By a vote of 12-2. Jason is eliminated. We got to take stock of the Leftovers, because the Leftovers are looking a little bit menacing right now. All right, there goes my Dream Alliance gone. But the Leftovers have Michael, Taylor, Joseph, all still hanging out. It's a little bit worrying. I mean, the level 6 is still all 4 strong. I mean, level 6 and the leftovers seem to be the most dangerous. The cookout is still pretty strong. They only lost Hannah. You still have Danielle as a straggler at this point. Will is a straggler at this point. Yvette's kind of a straggler. It's getting a little bit rough. The HOH, it's be huge for Will. Kyland wins it. Puts up Tyler and Casey. This is what I like to see. Make a fucking move. Level 6 is the biggest threat to the cookout. Get rid of them. Where Winston or Rachel, if they were the obvious exclusions. All right. Casey, like she does, saves herself with the veto, and Kyland replaces her with Sheila. All right. He's drawing all the lines in the sand. He says, fuck Team Christ. Fuck level 6. By a vote of 10-3, Sheila is evicted, putting Team Christ on its final member. Just Ryan, I believe, is the only one left. Yeah, I mean, it's Will is alone. Ryan's alone. Danielle's alone. Allison's alone. Yvette's alone. It really is at this point level 6, the leftovers and cookout dominating all the new school alliances. Brett gets a second HOH in 3 weeks. Puts up Tiffany and Michael. All right. Brett has taken another shot at Tiffany. Will it land? Casey gets the veto. Uses it on Michael. Interesting. Level 6 in the leftovers. Kyland is the replacement. Okay. The cookout is the target. Cookout is the target. And Tiffany is evicted. Wow. Good run by Tiffany, but there she goes. We're at the final 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Final 14. Who's the best situated right now? What do you guys think by looking at this? I like Brett's positioning a lot. I like Brett and I like Tyler. Michael and Joseph have a good path. I think Michael, Joseph, Brett, and Tyler seem to be the front runners in my mind. Angela's in the same boat as Tyler and Brett. All level 6 is doing pretty well. And they have an HOH. Kyland and Yvette. I have to imagine Kyland's the target, right? Whoops. And Will is the replacement. Oh, this is a tough one. I don't know what argument Will has to be saved over Yvette. Yvette's got a whole alliance. I think this is the end of the road for the doctor. 10-1. GG. There goes Will. Honestly, a pretty good run for Will, all things considered. Taylor dips from another alliance. X wins. The cookout needed a dub, to be honest. Puts up Danielle and Taylor. Jesus. Jesus, X. Danielle secures her own safety. And X replaces her with Michael. All right. Time to target the leftovers. Joseph is able to avoid the drama by a vote of 6-4. Taylor is evicted. Big hitters leaving in a row. Tiffany, Will, Taylor. Yeah, level 6, someone's got to take a shot. They're 4 strong, and they've won a lot of competitions. Danielle, she's a lone wolf. Hey, she's got to take this shot. I'm sorry. Let me look at the alliances. Yeah, I mean, she's got to target level 6. There's no way. She has to, right? Wow. Maybe a backdoor, but that's crazy. Tyler gets the veto. Uses it on Ryan. What the fuck has Tyler got cooking? Tyler does seem the type to, like, scoop up Ryan. And Angela's the replacement nom. Insane that Tyler uses the veto to take off Ryan to get Angela backdoored. This must be in the modern day. 5-4. Wait, we got to go see the vote, actually. Let's actually look at the votes. So Brett is Kyland, of course. Tyler votes to evict Angela. Okay. There is a twist. Kyland, Angela, Kyland. That's 4 votes Kyland. Angela. It all comes down to X's vote. Oh, Tyler. All right. Tyler got me back. He started off a little bit crazy with Team Christ, takes Ryan off the block to backdoor Angela, and then is the swing vote to evict Angela. What a fucking menace. And then Allison wins HOH. That's kind of interesting. She's kind of in the mix. Puts up X and Kyland. Wow. Yvette wins. Shouldn't use it. Used it on Xavier. Oh, man. And Ryan is the replacement. You know, Tyler's going to want to keep Ryan. All right, so Brett is evicting Ryan. Danielle, Ryan. Yvette, Kyland. Joseph, Ryan. Casey, Kyland's 3-2. Michael or Ryan, 4-2. Yeah. They let Ryan go. Team Christ is obliterated. Let's take stock. Allison, totally by herself. June's gone. Danielle, by herself with 3 HOHs, by the way. Yvette, 2 POVs, by herself. Joseph has Michael from the leftovers remaining. Casey is an intact level 6 with Brett and Tyler. Angela's the only one gone. Kyland, last remaining member of the cookout? No, him and X survived last week, I guess. So him and X doing their best. And then Tyler betrayed his own group but still has level 6. But the way the actual alliances are, leftovers and Kyland. Level 6 is still here. This hodgepodge group. Honestly, I think right now the winner pick has to be Michael or Joseph, right? Michael or Joseph or Brett. Tyler. Dude, I like Tyler's positioning a lot, too. Allison's in good shape because she has all these people and they're all different. Good for Allison, weaseling her way in. Kylan gets HOH, which means the leftovers are safe. But Tyler is not. And Joseph's not. This is weird. Tyler saves himself. Damn, this is a very dangerous week for him. Very dangerous week for Tyler. Saves himself. And Casey goes up instead. Yeah, I mean, Kylan had his sights set. But Joseph is evicted. Okay. That's a rough week for Kylan. I mean, Joseph was one of his only allies. Now it's just him and Michael. You got to think Kylan is about to be the house target. And Tyler dips. He's reached the point of the season. He's out of steam. It's all downhill from here, guys. Michael gets HOH. So it's one of the only people who would protect Kylan. I would assume Tyler goes up here, right? Tyler and X. Tyler's not going to save himself with the veto. X is going to save himself. Oh, it's a level 6. A level 6 off. They both have the same exact allies. It's just a good old-fashioned, honest vote. Brett. Tyler. Brett. Tyler. Tyler. Brett. It's a tiebreaker. My gut says Tyler's going to be evicted. I mean, he was... You know, he was the only... he was the initial target. Michael evicts Tyler. Wow. Yeah, look, he started missing his family. It happens. It happens. God, who's playing the best game now? I feel like it's been such a shit show. Good for Tyler, though. He provided this season. I think you got to say, like, Allison is doing really well. Allison and Danielle kind of just by themselves doing what they can. Yeah, I think Allison. Allison or Brett, maybe. Kylan gets the HOH. Oh, God. Kylan might comp his way to the end. Casey and Danielle. Come on, Danielle. Survive this. Yes! Saves herself. Brett is the replacement. Level 6 getting obliterated. By about a 5-0, Brett is booted. Wow, Tyler, Brett back to back. Someone's got to take care of this little duo here. Good for Michael, though. Michael's kind of locked in. And this one dissolves. I do not think these two would get along, to be fair. Casey clutches it out. Let's go. That's what she says, right? Puts up Kylan and Michael, just like I said. Good move. Michael does what Michael does and wins a veto. And Casey puts up Yvette as a replacement. Seems fine. Hopefully they target Kylan here. You got to think. Oh, God, Allison's cooking. 2-2. Kylan's cooked. All right. Forget Xavier's still here. Is he the only guy left? Oh, it's Xavier and Michael. Okay. Oh, here we go. This is it. The Endgame Alliance. Allison, Yvette, Xavier. Allison also has Danielle and Michael. What are we at? The final, 6? We're at the final... Yeah, we're at the final 6, and she's got 4 different alliances. She's aligned with basically everyone. X wins HOH. Puts up Danielle and Michael. Danielle saves herself again, forcing Casey on the block. By a vote of 2-1. Casey is evicted from the Big Brother house. Which leaves us in the final 5, where Allison is aligned with everybody. Allison effortlessly playing the middle between Michael and Danielle and Yvette and Xavier. Wow. Michael gets the HOH. Puts up Xavier and Yvette. The other side, of course. Danielle wins the veto. Doesn't use it. Their side is winning. Anonymous gifted Pink Rose Gamer. Get out of here. It's a tie. And Xavier is evicted. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Which leads us to the final 4. Of course, Allison aligned with everyone but bails on Yvette. All of a sudden, an Yvette veto is deadly for Allison. That's good for Allison, though. Allison now is probably safe. Yvette can't... Well, not necessarily. Probably actually bad for her. The veto, Yvette wins. Doesn't use it. Wow. Shoutouts to Allison. What a fucking masterful endgame this was. Now she gets to pick who to keep. Kind of counteracting reports here. Danielle is evicted. Kind of a shame. What a run by Danielle, but I guess Allison thinks she could play the middle here. Look at her. 3 HOHs, 4 POVs. What a beast. The only alliance left. Yvette wins part 1, though. That's crazy. Michael wins part 2. Look, Allison's intending on being taken to the end. Michael gets the final HOH. Evicts Yvette. And Allison has masterminded her way to final 2, but Michael's got 4 HOHs and 2 vetoes, so who knows how this will go. Let's show the votes. We got 9 jurors. Yvette votes for Michael to win. Uh-oh. Danielle votes for Allison. It's 1-1. Xavier votes for Allison to win. Casey votes for Allison to win. Kylan votes for Allison, as does Brett, as does Tyler. Joseph votes for his boy. Ryan votes for Allison. And by a vote of 7-2, Allison Wins. Fan favorite being Xavier. That's shocking. You think it'd be Tyler. But there you go. What a game by Allison. That was well played. She loses June. Like, fuck. When did she lose June? Week 2? Yeah, where is she? June. She's still there. Still there. She makes it a little farther. She makes it way farther than I thought. Where the fuck is she? Where did she go? This is a long-ass season, huh? How far does she make it? 12? Week 12? Yeah. Till week 12. Check the voting chart. Isn't the voting chart, like, literally a fucking spreadsheet? The floater doesn't need an alliance. Doesn't need a life vest either. Yeah, a mess of a season. A 28-person BrantSteele might be a bit much. I will say, how do you guys feel about the new era BrantSteele, where I do all of the house guests from 23 to 26? Let's see it. Allison. Never nominated. Look at all this clean-ass gameplay from Allison. Never nominated. HOH1. She gets nominated at the final 3. That's it. What a run. Who had the most colorful run? Dr. Will, nominated through 4 times before he was evicted. Whoever these two people are kind of crazy. This got to be like Tyler and Tiffany, right? Oh, Kylan and Casey. Where's Tiffany? She was having a crazy season. HOH, nominated. What a season. What a time to be alive. Well, that'll do it. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Weird-ass concept for a stream and a mixed bag in execution. In your opinion, was the best alliance ever? There's no opinion. It's the Cookout. If you're not saying the Cookout, you're stupid. Doesn't have to be your favorite, but like a 6-person alliance that made the final 6 that started that early. It's not exact. There's no real debate. I think outside of them, it's weird. Like I don't consider like the Mafia to be in the conversation, even though they're a 3-person alliance that made the final 3. At that point in the game, like it wasn't like they had so much influence. You know, it was just whatever. I would say like the Brigade was very, very dominant. They owned the season. They ran it top to bottom. Even the committee, I wouldn't consider that great of an alliance, even though they all make it to the end, basically. First of all, Enzo I don't think is in the committee. But, like, you know, they just won comps, and, like, there was like, a lot of factions within it. Shelltown, because they're fun entertainers. Yeah, I mean, they won and got 4th, I guess, right? It's not bad. How's the Brigade not voted into this? Y'all thought it was funny to put Team Christ in. Which did give us one of the craziest Week 2 HOHs of all time, with Matt winning. Which is pretty funny. And then getting voted out 22-1. I think you're talking to yourself. You're watching without audio. What is wrong with you? First of all, why does it tell me that? Shut up. But that'll do it. Thank you guys for hanging out. America and I are going to go film a TikTok or 2. Not even kidding. Most entertaining alliance? The Crossroads. Duh. Probably not Shelltown. Probably. Raid Puya? Sure. Why is your screen black? Shut up. All right. Raid Puya. All right. Tell Puya I say hi. What is my shoe size? Like an 8. I'm a little guy. Have fun. See ya.